I guess. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to State of the Market. I'm taking over Mark today on NVIDIA earnings. Let's see, a couple of things to talk about with NVIDIA earnings. First thing, is NVIDIA the new Apple? Remember how many years did the market wait for Apple earnings to come out? Like, are they going to be good? Are they going to be bad? Right? When Apple was going through that hyper growth phase, I would say probably from 2008 to 2018, something like that. Now, during that time, Apple had 2 or 3 40 to 50% drawdowns during that time. I don't know if you remember that, but that's what happened. So right now, I believe, no video. You got to reload. The video's working. So basically now NVIDIA is the new Apple, but what happened? Okay, what happened? Ooh, CCJ. We might have a little bit of action there today, everybody. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA earnings were very big. I mean, I'm just looking at their earnings growth from 105 and then last year, this time 68 cents. So it's earnings are still growing at 50% a year. Sales huge. Everything about it is gigantic. Haven't gotten the expected 6% move yet. Well, I don't think you're going to get it, James H. I think if anything, maybe, there's a little bit of selling, but that's it. So yeah, I think that another issue is expectations, right? So let's talk a little bit about expectations. I don't know if you guys remember in the old days, but expectations for Apple earnings. So remember, the analysts had an average number. Okay. And then why is it doing this? All right, here. Right, they have an average number, and then really what the street wants the highest number. Right? The street wants the highest number. And like, even though earnings were tremendously big, right? Tremendously big, They're like, because you have to remember, what has the stock done already? What has the stock done already? Okay, well, let's look at the last year. Okay, in the last year, it's up $70. It's already, so analysts, all right, are now the difference now is, okay, there is NVIDIA growth versus what the stock does, right? So you have to think about it. Is NVIDIA still growing at essentially, 50% a year? It's not exponential, but it feels pretty close, right? If you're growing at 50% a year still, is that enough to feed the AI beast on the street? For other stocks, for Microsoft, for Google, for everybody else, for whatever new AI crap comes up right now, is that enough to keep the story alive? So I would say, were the earnings good enough to keep the AI story alive? Right? I would say, yeah. Blue Dog is saying it's a decline from their 100% earnings growth. True. It is a decline from 100% earnings growth. And at some point, the multiple for NVIDIA will shrink somewhat. Right? Where's the multiple now on trailing earnings according to LiveVol here? We're down to a 58 times earnings. So NVIDIA could just be up 10% next year. The earnings grow 40%, and then their earnings multiple will drop to about 40. And that's generally how these things go. Generally that's how they go. Now, but for the rest of the market, is that enough to kind of, what happens to stocks now until the end of the quarter, till the next earnings? What's the next news we have? You got 3% GDP growth, I think, came out today or something. The Fed in September. So as far as all the headline news coming out, there's not a lot to propel stocks, right? And I don't think the market can't go higher, but are we going to have are we going to have those, like, we're going to rip 3% days now? I think overall that should bring volatility down somewhat. That's where I am on what NVIDIA kind of is meaning to the market right now. All the other stocks, to a lesser extent, right? Like, so in Ticker Highlight Show, we had Google trade on. I think we're up a little money on it now. All right. Google likes it. I have to make sure I have a GTC working for my order. Hold on. I do. We want to make some money on that. All right. Well, now all of a sudden, Trump might let him sell some Blackwell chips or something. That could be positive. Who knows? Right? But as far as, I think after Nvidia earnings are out, we're going to have like more muted volatility for the next 2 weeks. Lost in Space, I have a 650 offer for my call spreads. I think I paid 4 for them. How about the 10, 22 and a half? Are we up 25% on it? Eh. Are they trading $5? Let's see. Hold on here. Let's see. What do we buy? The 12s at 12s? Let's see here. Oh, the 19, 10, 22 and out. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong one. All right. Anyway, that's right. I'm at $6.50. All right. So now, does this also another thing? Does this mean that Nvidia is not a market leader anymore? What do you guys think? Is it done being the market leader for now? I think it's just tired. I think from a stock point of view, it might be a little tired for a while. So does that inform the kind of trade you make? If you think the stock's a little tired, I don't think it's going to 0, but the types of trades now, it's like, I don't think it's going to 200 this week either. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to give you is like, when you have a event, you can put on trades post event. Like for Nvidia, I would think like just a big butterfly or an iron condor or something right now. I would lean it a hair short. Maybe we'll cover that in Rip Zone today for all you Rip Zonies. Something fun to dig your teeth into. So anyway, that is like the thing. Now, given all this information we just covered, right? All this information we just covered, what is your VIX outlook for the next week? Based on this. I just gave you what's going on. This is what I'm thinking. So remember, lower vol, lower VIX outlook means other trades are possible, right? I think we'll go a little lower. I think we're going to tickle the 13 handle today. We got kind of low there. Remember, first hour of the day is a little, we traded, I think we might see zone. I think we're going to see zone 1 for the first time this week. So for you special situations people, that'll be good. Rip Zone people, good. Weekly profit cycles, good. My pro people, good. Even my flash fibers, we're still long a couple of contracts. Qualcomm's back to the highs, which is good. I never bought the short call in though, which is dumb. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, I just filled something. Nope. So, I think you got lower vol trades in Nvidia. You got lower vol trades in VIX. You got a little bit of a bounce here in VXX, which I think is kind of a gift. It'll probably be $35 by the end of the day. Just a guess. You had this kind of weird candle, but I don't know how long this is going to last. Now, any questions? So that's in all my products. That's how I'll be trading. That's how I'll be looking and trading the next couple days. We also have a 3-day weekend coming up. Don't forget. Do you guys remember that PFE trade? Remember I did that dividend capture play in July? I can tell you exactly when it was. All right. So I entered the PFE. I sold some puts in the div capture trade on the 2nd. I took delivery of stock on the 18th, and I sold the stock on the 22nd of August. PFE is doing awful. Okay, so guess what my yield on the trade was? Come on, guess. Vicky says 2. Too low. Here, let's take a look at the last 30 days. All right. And we got into it. Here we go. We got into it right July here. July right there. The stock is lower. 20%, 15%. Jose is close. Jose is the closest. 4.6%. What did the stock do in that time? I entered on the 2nd, and today it's about $1 lower. Do I get a cookie for that? You might get something, Jose. I'll tell you what, you're going to get a happy face. This happy face is only for Jose. So what did I do? Are you interested? Maybe you're not. So I will explain what we did. All I did was follow the rules. Thank you, Chip. What did you do? All right. So here is, I got the snapshot. It's kind of just the trade log. So first thing I did was I sold the 25 put. Okay, for 22 cents. Now I did this 5 times. So risk was around $12,000. All right, sold the 25 put. That put I bought back for 3 cents. And then I sold the next one was the July 11 25 put. This was the 5.5 put. I actually went up a little bit. And I sold that for 19 cents. Talk about trying to pull blood from a stone. Okay. So I did that roll. I actually had to roll up a little bit because this was the July. Oh, no, this was the 18. And this is what. Now, remember, the whole point was to get the stock because there's a 45-cent dividend. Now, I was successful here in taking the stock at 25.5. Took shares at 25.5. And I collected a 43-cent dividend. Right there. Then I'm like, then the stock looked terrible. Just freaking terrible. But I did get a little rally on the 22nd. So July 22nd, I sold the 25.5 call for 24 cents. As soon as it rallied. Okay, so I got 24 cents there. And that call went out worthless. Then the stock looked ugly, so I hedged. I bought a cheap put spread to try to make another buck. So I bought the 24, the August 15. So I bought to open the PFE, August 15, 24, 23 put spread for 33 cents. And that went out worthless. It did trade as high as about 40 cents, but I didn't sell it. Stock turned around. Because I told myself if the stock was around 24 or 24.5, I was just going to buy a put spread to hedge no matter what. And just hold the hedge and, make $1 there. Right. And then at the end here, so that went out worthless. And then the stock rallied a little bit, right? It was way over 24.5 again, so I didn't do anything. And I sold the stock at 25.93 on the 22nd. Because the dividend was done. Now, when you add this all up, what'd I get? All righty. So I got 19 cents there, plus 19 cents there. All right. Then I took the shares and I collected the dividend. That's 43. It hasn't hit my account yet, but it will. So now I'm up 62 cents. I sold this call for 24 cents. Whoops. 86. I burned my put spread, so less 33. 53. And then I made 43 cents on my stock. $0.96. So divided my strike by 25 is remember I sold the 25s at the beginning. 0.38, almost 4%. Stock down. That's a lot of work for 4.7%. Okay, so I did it 5 times and I made about $500. You know how long it took me to do this? I think I was closer than Jose. So if you made, I got 3 on a dumb stock, 3.8% for 6 weeks. If you made 3.8% for 6 weeks on every trade you made, how would you do? So I made $500 for probably 3 minutes of my time. It's not perfect, just saying. It wasn't a lot of work for $500. And I would say, I didn't get a couple of call sales in there. There wasn't any real good opportunity to sell them. I would say it was like, look, the secret was selling at $25.93. Well, the whole point of the idea when you do the wheel trade is to what? WA. What's the whole point of the wheel trade? Sell put, get stock, sell call, take stock. Jose said, I would rather do something simpler like buy a call or a put. The problem is if you bought a call or a put and held it for a month, how would you have done? You know, you might have got a lift here. Matt Man says you need to bill an 8-hour day at that rate. I know. The point is, like, this is a div capture strategy where you have dividend paying stocks and you're trying to get a little bit more out of the stock. So let's say you have 10 dividend paying stocks and you have a 500 shares each. What the whole point of this is this a way to try to improve your yield on stocks you hold already? Yeah, the commissions and fees. So Chip, I'll tell you what I did exactly with commissions and fees. So I made $345 plus the dividend. So I made, my dividend is, hold on, because I have my number here from Schwab. And my dividend hasn't hit yet. I got 43 times 5 is 215 plus 345.83. Oops. 215 plus 345.83. 560.83 total net on this after commission. If you didn't sell the wheels, well, you could say that for any trade, WA. If I didn't sell, if we were trading $1 lower, and I would just be even. I just charged $60 an hour for my lawn service. So here's a question for you. If you're apparently nobody is understanding this. Does anybody in this room hold a stock to collect a dividend in their IRA? Yes. Okay. Is this a way to increase the yield on stocks that you already are going to own? I am showing you a way to increase your dollars. And you can do whatever you want with it. Question is, did it cost you $12,750 to buy the stock at $25.50? Yes, it did, James. And here is the number right here. At least there's no account information there, but there you go. Yes, all the trades I say that I do, I do. $12,750. Well, there you go. Oh. Now you think I'm going to waste my money on that shit? Come on. I'm here to make money. Anyway, that is the div trade. WA, we need a div capture service. You don't need a service. You just need to understand how to do it. And if I was stuck with a stock and now we're back into the 24 handle, what would I do again? What would the trade that I would do if we're back into around 24 and a half again? I just buy a put spread. Is there an AI for that? I don't know. Anyway, what I try to give you is a way to approach trading a dividend paying stock. Note in this case, you're always trying to buy the stock lower and sell the stock higher. No rocket science here. Any questions? All right, all of you. Can't wait. Alicia's challenge today is at 1 o'clock. If you're not there, you stink. You should be there in Alicia's small account challenge. I'll be there at 1 o'clock. I'm doing all her trades. Click the link on the top if you want to join. There is the thing up there. Links up there. And I'm done. I'll see all you Rips owners at 1 o'clock.